Hi, it's Tony Ozanne. I'm about to go and meet Tim Hyde from the Ryde Act to do the small interview project. I'm here with Tim Hyde from the Ryde Act, which is Canberra's leading online news and opinion site, and he's going to go through the small interview project. So, how are you today, Tim?
I'm doing well, thanks, Tony. How are you?
I'm very good.
Excellent.
Alright, the Ryde Act, it's been around for a while. Tell me what it is you do.
Ryde Act's an online news and social media platform that works with our clients to increase their profits through online advertising and community engagement.
Okay, excellent. And why did you go into business? Why did the Ryde Act start?
Ryde Act started by accident. When I started my first business when I was 6, but Ryde Act...
When you were 6?
When I was 6. Ryde Act, that's another story.
Yep.
Ryde Act didn't start as a business.
Okay.
It was sort of accidental. We looked... my co-founders and I really wanted to challenge community, the notion of community consultation,
right,
and really show to the people of Canberra that there was more going on here than the big blockbuster exhibitions that were traditionally spouted by tourism and events, ACT, and those sorts of things. And about 7 years into it, we sort of built up a following that. And we thought, okay, this has got something here. We're either going to throw it away because it's now taking a lot of time, or we need to retrofit this website, this thing, with an underpinning business model. So that's an interesting challenge for us.
So I've got to ask, how did that little venture start all those years ago?
I think it was about 6 or 7 long nicks of beer around a barbecue. So this will be a great idea.
Excellent. It looks like it has.
But it was interesting. I mean, we went out for commuter fair the following weekend, spent $600 on parts, and away we went. That was it.
Okay, so it is a real one of those
real
garage IT stories.
Garage IT story.
Excellent. So who knows? You could be the next Bill Gates or Steve Jobs. If you had your time over again, what would you do differently? What would you change?
Probably approach the entire thing with a bit more thought.
Right.
I normally say don't think too much going into business, but probably would have looked at it with a bit more idea in mind. One of my favourite sayings about a business is, a business exists to make money. If you're not solving a big enough problem that people are prepared to make money for, it's not a business.
Definitely. And
when we've given the content away for the last 12 years and trying to sort of now monetise that is a real challenge that we're facing, that a lot of other bloggers start to get to scale face as well.
Okay, which leads nicely into the next question, which is, what is your biggest challenge in business?
Biggest challenge, I think, has always been cash flow. Over the last couple of years with global financial crisis, we've seen people take longer to come on and take longer to pay invoices. I think that's a challenge that a lot of businesses are facing at the moment, and it doesn't stop the fact that you've still got to pay staff. Staff can't wait another 30 days for an invoice, because they've got bills to pay themselves. So that's probably one of our biggest challenges that still faces us as we go forward.
Okay, excellent. And balancing working on the business versus in the business, how do you do that?
Find really good people and empower them and skill them up to be able to do the business of the business, and that frees me up a lot to be able to work on the business from a strategic perspective. Okay,
excellent, which is important. And before I ask my last question, I will digress a little bit and just ask you...
Yeah, that's right, throw me out.
I'll try to trick you.
Entirely unscripted, yeah.
Absolutely, but why would I advertise online versus the traditional means of advertising, like print or whatever it may be?
Oh, it's a fair question. When we started, we looked at sort of saying, hey, I want someone's entire advertising budget. We don't look at that anymore. Online is a very complementary strategy to traditional media channels. Certainly, it's proven that if you advertise, you will get more mind share in your customer's mind, and you will, as a result of that, get more leads, convert more business, be able to sell at a higher price, and ultimately make more profit. The reason you might look at online as being complementary or almost becoming more core in your advertising strategy is that that's where consumers are. Tony's filming this off his iPhone 5. It means he's got practically a supercomputer in his pocket now. We see more and more people turning to online to look at, for reference, for referral, for product. People are buying online significantly more now than they ever were before. And even you look at sort of total hours in terms of media consumption, online now equates for more media consumption per week than almost every single other media channel combined, TV, print, radio, together. And people are spending more time online than all of those put together.
And I guess it's going to keep growing as well.
It will, and the more power that you have in that handheld device, you see a massive increase in mobile take-up. It just means that people can now look up stuff online very, very easily, and they're significantly more informed than they ever were before.
Okay, excellent. Sorry for digressing there.
That was
a personal question. And my final question is, what advice would you have for potential newbies to business?
Get really good advice. Don't be afraid to ask people for their experience. I know a lot of people, when they start up a business, are quite protective of their idea, to think that someone else might steal it and run with it. That's not the case. People are usually busy with their own thing. And even if they do take it and run with it, that's okay. Opportunities are like buses. There's another one along shortly. The second piece of advice would be to say that, when you have some contingency budget in mind, double it, if not triple it. Things can take a lot longer than you expect in a lot of cases, and you will find yourself, short of cash.
More often than not.
More often than not. And sleepless nights having no cash is not fun.
Excellent. Okay, Tim, look, great. Thanks very much for the insights today on your experiences, especially with the Ride Act, but since your experiences as a 6-year-old entrepreneur. So thanks for your time.
Thanks, Tony.
Cheers.